Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a special video today because several of you asked about the toy box that I showed yesterday for the hide and seek tutorial. And so I thought I'd give you just a very quick tour. I'm not going to show you how to build the toy box, but you can probably get a good idea of how to build it if I just kind of give you an aerial tour of it. So let me do that. Alright, so this is the toy box that I built for my hide and seek game. And essentially, I'm using this long flat terrain block with this one next to it, styled with the Toy Story in Space style for the water. And then I have another piece just like this right here for the beach, the lower part of it. And we got a few little river pieces that meander up here to another river piece that's sticking up a little ways with a waterfall. And I've got some slope pieces here on the back side of the beach with a few little terrain pieces here. And then we've got the river piece here with some river pieces that come down to that little waterfall, and then just terrain around that. And again, these are just the terrain block, not the largest one, the next size smaller. So that's the bottom level. And then on the top level, got a couple of these blocks sitting there with a tunnel here. We've got the treasure cave there. So I used a little tunnel piece, a bend with a tunnel piece there. And if I pull this out, this is just the tall, tiny, thin terrain block with the climbing ledge wall on top of a small terrain block with the well piece sitting on top of that. And then I just filled in some terrain blocks here around it to kind of build an upper level for the cliffs. Along the back, I put some of the Dunbrock castle pieces. I didn't build an entire castle because, again, I don't want to make the toy box too big. It's a hide and seek game and you don't want to make it too big. But this just put some nice visual interest along the back side of the toy box there. There's ladders on either side so that you can climb up on top of the towers. You can drop down and run along the wall. I'm using the pirate theme for the customizable plants out of the plants drawer. You can kind of get an idea of how I placed those. And then around the cliffs I put the cliff pieces. So I got this climbing cliff. We've got the this piece here along the back with a flat piece, another piece there. I'm trying to think of how I can get to something that's not going to collide there. Might be easiest, I suppose. You've seen me use these building pieces on other toy boxes, but I'm talking about these cliff corners, cliffs, the little cave cliff I'm using right there for the cave entrance. This is the climbing cliff. And I'm using the Lilo and Stitch theme for all of the sand and cliffs. And I'm using Tinkerbell's treasures for the grassy area here. And because it's a small toy box, I loaded it up with detail, so I'm not worried about memory. So I got little pieces here, terrain blends that I'm using. And then I've got the village back here. It's just using the Ewoks, kind of like a little native village, using the Ewok building pieces. And the treehouse. And I'm using the circular stairs, 3 high, with a couple of these treehouse stumps. And then I just added branches. And built a set of branches around the outside of this to give a nice canopy. At the top of the winding staircase there, I put this little rope bridge that leads up to a treehouse piece. Put some more treehouse stumps underneath that to give it support, and then added branches off the sides. Off this side, I put this little piece. It's also out of building sets group 1, and then ran the cliff pieces up here, or the bridge pieces up here to the cliff. And I just had to play around with these to get them to sit where I wanted them to sit. But hopefully that gives you a pretty good idea of how I built this. There's not much to it. I think it took me about an hour to put all of this together. It wasn't too bad. Pretty easy, and again, if you don't get something that looks exactly like this, that's fine. You could also use a different theme if you want. You could use a medieval theme, and instead of using treehouse, you could use more of the castle pieces there. You could use all kinds of futuristic things if you wanted a more futuristic theme. So there's lots of options. But hope you enjoyed this brief little tour of my hide-and-seek toy box here. It's a beautiful little toy box and a lot of fun to play in. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.